This already, just this timelessness is the simplicity of what is, just what is. Thoughts appearing, talking happening, past being imagined or being memorized, being imagined, worry appearing. Just this is already what is being longed for. There is nothing other than just this, what is. It may also be imagined that there must be something other than this. We are getting somewhere. There's something to be achieved. But that's just also what is, expressing as that. There isn't anything to be achieved. There isn't anyone to get to a certain place. There isn't anyone to move. There can be just an apparent movement, which isn't being done by anybody. Yet in the story, it may seem as if somebody's moving. Oh, I'm going somewhere. Or by as I'm listening to this message, it's getting me somewhere. Maybe I will eventually find totality, wholeness. That's just also wholeness saying like that. That's not a separate person or an evidence that there's a separate person who will eventually find wholeness. That's wholeness already. Talking, asking questions, giving up, worrying, frustrated. Even that which seems to say, but I think it should be, this should be quiet, peaceful, loving. That's also what is. Even the noise, that's which seems to think that this should be quiet, peaceful, including the noise that seems to be happening. Everything is this. There's no separation. There's nothing to be gotten. There's nothing to lose. There's nothing to be found. There's just simply this. The totality, spaciousness, and the apparent mind can never really know this, can never really find this, because there's no real mind, just an apparent mind. It's just this already, expressing as that. There isn't anything that is separate from anything. So this is found already. There's nothing to find this. There's nothing to get this. There's nothing to lose this. There's no one to experience glimpses, to have glimpses. Glimpses simply happen. It's just already wholeness appearing as glimpses of wholeness. So all these bodies are empty. Yet in the story, it may be imagined that there's somebody in those bodies. There's somebody there. Here comes George in that body. George is a very healthy person. George lifts weights. But there's no George. It's just an empty body. Everything is empty. Every animal is empty. Every tree, everything is already not separate.
So I I did was working on your homework, and I came to a realization. So the homework, as you will recall, is to think of nothing, right?
Yes, yes. I remember now.
Not to think of nothing, but to think about nothing,
Yeah,
like an active thinking about nothing, which is good for me because I'm kind of a thinking person. So I just project that, but it's nothing, but it's still, um, I don't know, worked well for me. But the realization was that the difference between, and it seems obvious, but the difference between, you know, you and your neighbor, uh, being specifically Nkosi and Nkosi's neighbor, comes down to thinking. It comes down to the way you think, right? There may be no difference between Nkosi and his neighbor, but the reason that there's some sort of realization at the coordinates of Nkosi is that Nkosi has had a realization, and that changes the way that he thinks. And that there's just a different, like, you know, somebody might realize that if you melt sand, you get glass. And that might be very obvious to them from then on, right?
yeah,
Or I might realize that the best way to fix your computer is blah, 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 or, uh, that it's just simply a realization. And that's all. That's a realization that influences the way that you think and the way that you experience, or any biology or anything else is just informed by that realization and the way that you think. And
yeah.
expecting for it to be anything but the way that you think takes you out of realizing that there's not anything there to begin with. That expectation can be very toxic in essence.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you're going to say there's nothing there
the
anyway.
only
I can feel the blanket coming.
the, the thinker, the thinker of thoughts, and the thoughts are just it's just thinking happening, you know. Even the thinker is just another thinking happening. Yeah. So that it formation,
Oh,
you know.
Nkosi, you went out at after the thinker is just thinking happening, and then you froze.
Okay. Yeah. The thinker, the thinker of thoughts, and the thoughts is just thinking happening, you know. It's just the bundle of thoughts, including the thinker as a thought, just bundle of thoughts floating, just floating by. They don't belong to anyone. The thinker of thoughts as a thought may claim that these thoughts, they belong to me. But that's just another thinking happening. That's just another thought happening. So it's just an information. There isn't anybody anywhere. Just bundle of thoughts as information, knowledge. There's no one there already. Thoughts can't be found. So what seems to be a you who thinks thoughts is just another thought. So thoughts, when are looked for, they can never be found. Because even that which is seems to be looking for thoughts is just thinking, another thinking happening. So there isn't anybody anywhere to find any thought. It's just everything, or what seems to be the bundle of thoughts, information is just arising from nothing. We, even though there is no we, I'm just saying we are the same in the sense that there's just nothing. Everything is nothing, except for thoughts that they may seem to be different. The knowledge, you know, what I know is not the same as what you know. So that's the difference. The knowledge that that body is different is just a thought, bundle of thoughts. So there's nothing else, just thoughts floating by and the belief. So everything is empty. There isn't anybody anywhere to find anything, to get anything. Yet in the story, that may seem to be overlooked, you know. In the story, it may seem as if everything may seem to be taken as it is, you know. In the experience of separation, it may seem as if there's a real Charles and real Nkosi talking, discussing about non-duality, but there's just a story. Here it is seen that everything is just an appearance in this, yet an appearance is this too. It doesn't imply that it's separate from where it's appearing from. Where it seems to appear from is the same. The appearance appearing from nothing is the same as nothing, still nothing. It's nothing special. So to look where you're looking from, that may seem to be noticed that there's no one there, just bundle of thoughts, emotions, sensations, even the body, even what appears to be the body. It's just the sensations, the only evidence that there is a body, just those sensations. But without those sensation, bodily sensations, it's just space. When when what seems to be the body is walking, it's more like space walking through space. There isn't anybody who's walking. In the story, when you look at the hand, it may seem as if, oh, it's somebody's hand. There's somebody here. This is somebody. That's just a story. There's just the knowledge in the memory that is not even there. If the memory or the knowledge in the memory as Charles were to be exchanged with ghosts, yeah, then the conversation will continue. Then I'll be Charles and you. Yeah, nobody owns the knowledge. Nobody owns anything. This is just floating by, more like clouds floating in the sky. Sometimes you get dark clouds, green clouds, yellow clouds sometimes, you know, but the sky doesn't mind. It doesn't mind. Everything is accepted as it is. There's no judgment. So that's that's which you really are. It doesn't mind. It is not a thing. It is not a thought. Yet a thought appears in it. But itself as it is just an empty space that appears as well to be full. It is boundless energy. It is spaciousness. It is totality. It's already where you are looking from. Even before thinking may arise, even before an attempt to look for it may arise or may happen, is already there. It's already there. It's already there before buts, before why. But why? It's already there. It's already everything. Yet it's everything already. It's everything already. There is no separation, even though in the story it may seem as if there is a real separate George and Peter. But George and Peter is exactly this appearing as George and Peter. So here, Charles is seen as this. Other apparent characters are seen as just this, not as things separate from this that needs to get back to this. So there's so much love. This loves itself. It doesn't love the other. It doesn't know the other. It knows no other. Knows nothing. Knowing nothing, in a way, is knowing itself. Because all there is nothing. it's even that before the word in the thing, it's wordless. It's already wordless. There are no words to really describe what this is. And there isn't anybody to describe this to. That which seems to be the description, and that which seems to be an entity listening to this to the description is already that which can't really be described. It's already that which is already here as everything. Not here as somebody. Not here as somebody's grandmother or grandfather. Not here as somebody's child. Here is nothing that appears to be everything. It is the resting place for the apparent mind. When it has been going up and down, seeking, looking, searching for years, looking for this, then suddenly it collapses and it's recognized that it was not even there in the first place. It was just already that which was being searched for. Such a beauty. This is beautiful.
So you agree?
Sorry?
So you agree?
I don't.
You don't.
Nobody here to agree or not agree. Yeah, agreeing and disagreeing simply happens, simply happens. Nobody's doing it. Even when there's a thought that seems to say, but somebody's doing it, that's already nobody doing that. It's just what seems to be happening. It's empty. Every word spoken in this meeting is already empty in a sense that it's already this saying every word, not a character, a certain character, different character, just this saying everything, smiling, cracking a joke, everything is this already. So there's no escape.
All right, Nkosi, I'm going to let you go. I've got some other recommendations that I will put on in the messenger. Just two or three things I think would really help.
I would appreciate that. I would appreciate it a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Always welcome.